Hello, this is Joanne from JP Writing Services. Today we're going to talk about how to get published in the media. Now that's quite a big subject, and of course it depends which media you want to get published in to start with. So let's take things a step at a time. The first thing to think about is news. Now the media loves news, and if you're going to get published in the media, you have to have a newsworthy story to tell. So what is news? As the word suggests, you have to have something new to talk about. So have you got a new product? Are you doing something in a new way? Are you new to business yourselves? What is it that's new about your story or about the angle? The next thing to think about is the target audience. So which media are you wanting to get in? Let's start by thinking about local media. So local media are the newspapers and the publications, the radio stations, even the local TV stations that are near to where you live. Now their focus is on local people. So one of the angles that you can take to get into the local media is by talking about yourself as a person who lives in that local area. So local man Joe Bloggs, 35, has just invented XYZ, is a typical story that you would see in a local newspaper. So think about the target audience. Local media like local stories, which makes sense. So rather than talking about your local paper, you could think about a regional newspaper. And that way you want to talk county-wide. So why is your story of relevance across the county? Are you again the first person in your county to do something? Is it a new take on a long-standing product or service? Or is it something completely new and exciting? After you've done local and regional, then you need to consider, is your story big enough to be of national importance? If it is, then you've got a whole range of media that you can choose to talk to. National newspapers, radio and television. The other thing to think about is industry publications that are relevant to your particular field. So if you're in the care sector, for example, there are a whole host of magazines and publications aimed at different aspects of care. So think about your target audience. Who is your product or service for? Is it for the end customer, or is it for somebody in the middle? Would it be used by a professional, for example, a nurse or a doctor, or is it used by the end patient themselves? Think about who you're targeting. Are you targeting parents? Are you targeting children? If you've got a product that's aimed at a child, then obviously it's the parents and carers and guardians that are going to be making the purchase. And there are literally thousands of publications you could choose to talk to that market. Nowadays, it's not just about magazines, newspapers, radio and TV. There's a whole world of online options as well. Blogs, videos, podcasts. There are thousands of ways of getting your message out to your target audience. So let's recap on the secrets of success. To get published in the media, you need to have a new story. So what aspects of your story are new? Is it about you, the person, or is it about your product or service? Who is it aimed at? Is it aimed at the end user, the customer, or someone in between? Make sure you know exactly who's going to buy your product, and then you can find the right media in which to tell your story. Keep it relevant. So if you've got a local story, aim for your local media. If you've got something truly groundbreaking, then the world's your oyster and you can think nationally, if not internationally. The other thing to consider is whether there's any time restrictions on the story you've got to tell. Are you talking about a limited edition? Are you talking about something with a short shelf life? An event that's going to happen and then be over? Once you know exactly who you're going to target and that you've got a story to tell, then you can focus on writing your press release or getting the information across to the journalist. And we'll look at just how to do that in the next video.